Vamos con esto. So, hoy vamos a tocar algo un poquito diferente y yo creo que este le va a gustar mucho a ustedes. Eh, lo que vamos a hoy tocar es la mentalidad que ustedes necesitamos, que cada uno de nosotros necesitamos para poder vender. ¿Alguien quiere aprenderlo? ¿Alguien quiere saber cómo hacerlo? ¿Alguien quiere saber qué es la mentalidad que nosotros
What
necesitamos
is the mindset that we need
para poder
to
vender,
be able to sell,
para poder hacer
to be
closers,
able to be
para
closers,
poder
to be able to help people, because that is what we do when we are talking to people, but we are bringing them to help. And one of the things that I want you to understand is the following. Our finances, everything that we do, is pushed by sales, okay? Nothing passes if there is not a sale. You don't have a car if you don't have a sale. You don't have food on your table if you don't have a sale. Everything comes from a sale. Whatever point you look at this from, economy would be dead if it wasn't due to sales. Sales is the business and is the profession that more money can give you. If you know how to sell, you can earn all the type of money that you want. Now, each one of you who are in this call is in sales. If you want to learn about this or not, if you want to know this or not, you're in sales as a profession. And every day you sell your kids what you're going to eat. You sell to your husband that you need more love or to pick up his clothes. Every day you are selling and you're not recognizing it. For you to be able to, in this world of sales, you need to see the sales not as an obstacle. There's many people that say, no, I'm not a salesperson. Of course, you're not a salesperson because you tell yourself you're not a salesperson. Words have a very strong weight. Whatever you have in your mouth is what is going to grow in your head. I'm going to give you an example, and it's going to take you to healing. Many people pray to be healed. God, heal me, heal me, heal me, but they're asking God to heal them, but they don't believe it with their hearts. So there's not going to be any healing. There's not going to be any healing. So if you, through your mouth, you talk and you say, I'm not a salesperson, this isn't for me, guess what? You're not going to do it. And many of us, we have the concept completely wrong concept about sales. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Anybody here has shared the patch to someone else? Okay, what results have you had? Can somebody write down if you've shared the patch with someone and that person has had something big, a big testimonial? Can you share it here, please, in the chat? There was an improvement in an enormous hernia. Okay. Who else? A friend feels a lot of energy. Okay, perfect. I'm going to continue with what two people said. Two people were enrolled and their pain went away. My sister's pain went away. I want you to notice this. If you don't sell the product to the person, that person won't have that relief that you're seeing in the testimonials. But your mind has salesperson as a bad person, as a person that may takes the best out of people. No. If I don't sell you this product, I'm not helping you. It's not someone that takes advantage of you. It's the contrary. You have to know that if we sell a product to someone, we are changing their lives. When we sell a patch to a person, we are changing their life. It can be financially or it can be changing that person's health. We change lives when we sell to someone. The product that we have changes lives. Now, if you don't believe it, that person is not going to believe it either. If the product that you have, you don't believe, you don't feel like that with this product, it's going to be very difficult for you. Not only this product, if you sell, for example, yard mowing services and in your body, you understand that you're the best. You don't understand that you're the best lawnmower. The person is not going to perceive that you're the best lawnmower or the best hair cutter. You need to feel that this is what you need to do. And it is our responsibility or the prospect to see how this product is going to change their lives. How this patch, if I explain it the correct way, I ask the correct questions, they have to see, I have to do my job for this person to see the product and say, wow, this is going to transform my life. Guys, closing, selling, it's not about this. It's not about this. If you are trying to close someone for this, for money, mm-mm, it's never the product. It's never the product, okay? It's the person. You are sharing, you are selling this to the person because you know and you understand what this is going to do in their lives. I have to know that my coaching of Airbnb, if you apply it, it's going to transform your life. And I believe it and I know it. That's why I speak firmly about it. That's why I speak firmly about this. You need to speak firmly and you need to know that this is. There are people that sometimes ask me, Carlos, what do you sell? And I say, okay, what do you need? What do you need? And I'll sell it to you because that's the problem. Nobody cares about the product. The person is not purchasing this product, guys, okay? So that's why we say stop talking about the product. Stop talking about what you do. Stop talking about this. This doesn't sell. This doesn't sell. You know what sells? What solves things. The person is going to buy whatever is going to solve for them. If you sell the patch, you're selling the solution that the patch brings because that is what the person is going to search for. Many people that we're here with, look, many times we've heard in the past about the incorrect people in our lives. and I'm going to explain why. We hear about people who are around us who are the incorrect people, or the people that don't earn a lot of money. You know why? Because it's easy to hear and listen to those kinds of people. Many people who are here, they say, "No, yeah, I do. I'm going to grow. I'm going to do everything that I need to do." No, you don't grow because there's no commitment. And how do you make a commitment to be able to change somebody's life? The commitment that you do in learning about the product, the commitment in looking at yourself in the mirror and playing roles with yourself. That is a commitment that you make because I know that each person, I'm not going to close everyone, but if I start each conversation with people not looking at money, but looking at the solution that I can give that person, what I am bringing to this person who is in pain or this person who doesn't have money right now and needs income, I have that solution for them. We need to understand that we are making a difference in that person's life, not only just by selling a product. And this is something that you need to feel, but in the depth. If the person doesn't understand something, we need to give them clarity. We there's many people out there that don't know what they have. If you don't understand, let me help you. Let me help you have clarity. Look, there are three types of people in sales. Number one, people like the person who is in the store. If you go to a clothes store, they have no idea about human contact. They know a bit about the product and they have questions that they answer technically. And they don't know anything about closing. Other people who are people from sales, these people know a bit about sales, but they're not going to give that extra mile to be able to help their customer. They think that they're on top of the world of sales. They think that they're the best salesperson, and they truly aren't. They like to be average, and they know that they can be better. And number three is what I want every one of us to fight to be. And this is a closer, somebody that closes. Are you the best? Do you know that you're the best, first of all? Do you have a very positive attitude? Do you know how to solve someone's problems? Do you love what you do? Do you think faster than the prospect? And are you sold with yourself? Are you sold in what you do, in who you are? You need to be convinced of who you are and what you are bringing to the table. Look, most of the people don't know how to do this. They don't know how to research. They don't know how to ask. They don't know how to overcome the discovery area. So that's why I say to you, when you go out to talk to someone, the only thing that needs to come out of that mouth is asking a question. If you are not asking questions, you yourself are getting in the middle of your sales. You need to ask a question. You need to constantly be asking questions. Look, one of the things that I want you to know, okay, and as I was saying, what we're saying here is to have the mind of a person who closes. I talked about this a while ago. A while ago, I already spoke about this, and I'm going to give you some examples. And this is to work your mind for you to close. But I want to say to you today is that if you don't put this into practice, okay, thanks for listening. Listen to this. This is very important, okay? Context versus content. What does that mean? People think that because they know something, they're going to have a solution. Has somebody here tried to lose weight? Yes? What have you tried to do? Can somebody write it down here in the chat? Diet, okay. Exercise. Did it work? I know that some people, it does work. Has it worked for someone or not? Not lately? No. Why do you think that it didn't work? I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why it didn't work. Because you were a person that wants to lose weight. The only thing you need to do is to go to YouTube and search for how to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. How to search for a diet. That's content. And why didn't they lose weight then? If they have the content. If you have the information in your hands, why aren't you going to lose weight then? If the information is what makes you lose weight, because you had the context completely confused. Your mind wasn't prepared to lose weight. Your mindset wasn't strong enough to lose weight. Why? Because the context, right? It's the context that you have right now in your mind. And that is what you've been living and growing on since you were a child. We are creatures of habits. So naturally, we feel comfortable when we're comfortable in our habits. Naturally, we don't want to grow because growing isn't comfortable. Do you want to have muscle? It's not comfortable. It's not easy for me to push you to lift more weight when you really don't want to. But it's the only way that your muscle is going to grow. So when we aren't there, and what happens with all this is that our context is very small. This can be full of context, but what do you have inside there? 40, 50 years of things that I've heard in my life that are here now. That's why I can't grow. That's why I can't close. The person who can't lose weight on her own with an online plan because the context isn't going with what she has to do. If the content was only if the information of just earning money in Airbnb, you can search for it in YouTube. So why don't you do it? Growing a company. Search for it on YouTube. Why don't you do it? Why don't we do it? Because if the content made the difference, we would all be millionaires here. If each one of you were multimillionaires, if it was just, we would all be multimillionaires, sorry, if it was the content and not the context. We all want to have results, but only with the context, with the content, with what I'm giving you, the content, but not the context. We fail because we haven't opened more our context, and we still have the same habits and the same mindset and the same things that they told us of us, that they told us 30 or 40 years ago. Do you want to expand your context? Do you want to expand your mind to be able to grow? One thing is that you have to jump in the pool at 100% into this. Whatever you want to do, if you want to do life wave, you have to go in fully. Throw yourself like when you throw yourself head first into a pool, not to start walking down the stairs one by one because the water is cold. Just jump where there is no distractions. Number two, being here in the trainings, being with the coaches, being with your upline who can help you to follow all this. This coach is going to say, hey, you're doing it right. You're not doing it right. He's going to teach you what you should not do. He pushes you. I'm pushing you right now when you don't want to. You don't want me to push you in the gym. When you have a personal trainer, they're pushing you. Two more, two more, two more, one more. Go. And he's pushing you. Number three, what is your daily routine? What do you do every day? If every day you just do your routine once, you don't do anything. If you do it for 2 days, you don't do anything. We have to repeat this constantly, constantly, constantly to be able to have growth because it takes time to create a new habit. And what I'm trying to do here with you is because if your context, that let's say that it's your mind, your mindset, if I don't expand it right now from what I'm doing, how am I going to put even more things there if it's already full? You're not going to listen. You're not going to understand to what I'm trying to say. You're not trying to understand that I'm trying to teach you that you need to get up and do these things and you need to move and you need to speak to these kinds of people. If I don't expand the context, I can't help you. Look, if your context stays like this, it doesn't matter how many calls of LifeWave you enroll into. Doesn't matter how many coaches you have. It doesn't matter how many roles we play. It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to change. Do you know why? Because nothing of this is able to overcome your past mindset. Nothing that I'm teaching you, I am not going to win against 40 years of your mindset being in the same place where we're at. I'm going to lose every day. It's just impossible. There's no chance because your past, your mindset is always going to win. Always. That is why we need to fight. And you yourself, you need to fight too. We need to expand the way in which we can expand our context is that we need to change the way in which we think, the way in which we act. Why? Because when I change the way my train of thought, the way that I think, now I can fill it with new things, with my new version of me, with what you actually want to do. Your level of, can somebody help me with success? Okay, yes. Your level of success is going to determine how big your new context is going to be. If you never expanded it, you're not going to have a lot of success. You're not going to have a lot of success. Most of the people, this is the context, their mind. They never expand it. They never expand their mind. I want to talk to you about what is the purpose of learning. This, you're not learning anything. Reading is not learning. Knowing is not learning. Watching me, that's not learning. The only way that you can learn how to do something is to do it again and again and again and again and again. Why do I always say to you that you need to go out and speak to people? Because each no, the closer you're going to get to a yes. Each time that you speak to someone, the better you're going to be. The better version you're going to be of yourself. I want to give you an example. The first time that someone here, you got on, it doesn't matter what age you are, that you got on a vehicle in the back seat. Did you know how to drive? That day, the first time that you got into that vehicle, do you know what you knew today out of driving? Why? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? How many times have you driven a car? Again and again and again. It's the same scenario for everyone. It's the same that we do every day. We have to cut that space between learning and doing it. We need to cut that gap. We need to close. Learn, practice. Learn, practice. You're in this class. What are you going to practice today? When I say learn to talk, learn to ask questions, practice asking your kids questions, your wife, your husband, your daughter, your mom, your friend, ask, 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 because you're going to practice and practice and practice. The only thing that counts is what you apply. And you know the worst part of all this, of all these classes that we're having here? It's that it gives you a belief, a false belief, because you think that you're learning. You think you're learning, and you're not learning if you don't put it into practice. If you don't get out of this class and you go to your back office and you learn and you practice and you see how you do auto shipment. Know where I see this when they ask me the same question for 2 months. Obviously, I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to answer because if I show this to you today and I show you where you have to go and what you have to do, and I give you all the lessons that you need to do to have a successful business and you don't do it, I can't do anything against your closed mindset. I can't do anything against your habits that you've been having during, I have no idea how many years. I'm not going to win that. I'll never win. And for you to know how this works, 25 hours doing something gives you a bit of understanding about it. 25 hours. Do you want to have knowledge about something? Spend 25 hours. For you to have fluency in something, it's 100 hours. It means that you can have a conversation. To be able to be a master at something, it means that you need 10,000 hours having done it. Do you want to become a quarter of a master? Then teach. And by teaching, you're going to learn very quickly. My wife and I give the matrimonial course at our church. It's a workshop that we impart. And I always say that our matrimony has a before and an after before we started imparting this matrimony workshops. And that's why we go to LA, San Diego, Tijuana, and we do these matrimony conferences in our church. The first time that we were in the class receiving information, we started to apply it, but it was a bit difficult because it was going against my closed context. We started expanding, both of us, but afterwards we had to teach it. And when we started teaching it, we were studying, we were repeating it, and now we're sharing it. And many people say, oh, how can you have such a great relationship? How come your matrimony is so amazing? We're not perfect, nobody is, but thank God my wife and I have a beautiful matrimony with no issues against us, nothing like that. Why? Because we've been teaching how to have a matrimony through God's plan. During 5 years, 4 years, we've been teaching and teaching and teaching and teaching. We taught it so many times that where did it stay? It stayed in our DNA. That is why when you know something, when you understand the conversation plan and you start sharing it with the people from your team, now you start teaching people what a compensation plan is. Imagine that now you start teaching people from your team, the 3 people that you have in your team, and you teach them how to ask a question to their prospects. Who do you think is going to win? The person who is teaching. Both of them, God willing. Now you're teaching though. And let me see if I can finish with this, okay? Let me see where I can get to. I think many of you are going to see this. It's fear against faith. It's fear versus faith. Your mindset is the one that always is going to be there with you. During the years of bad programming that we have in our heads, we have been used to our whole life saying no. Has anybody gone through the mall and they see all those houses in the middle of the mall and the person wants to sell you a cream or a shampoo or a blow dryer and you know you're bald and they want to sell you a blow dryer? No, 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 no. That's the first thing you say. No, 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 no. We are programmed to say no. And since we are what we said today, each one of us that we're helping people, to be able to help people, we need to close. When you close, did you close a sale or did you close in we are going to give up tomorrow? Or did you close in I'll contact you in 10 minutes? There's always has to be a closing. There's not always going to be a sales, but can I contact you in 6 months, Flor? I know you're not interested right now, but do you give me permission to contact you in 6 months, Flor, to see how you're doing and how your economy is doing and possibly your mindset has changed? Yeah, sure. Contact me in 6 months. That's fine. Okay. Thank you. I closed her. I closed Flor to contact her in 6 months. We can never manipulate the prospect because we are not thinking in the commission. We are thinking on connecting with the person. We need to truly discover how we can impact their lives. Do you know that? And this is going to be good, okay? Faith and fear are, help me here, the same belief? Are the same belief? Okay, I'm going to give you these two definitions, okay? Faith is a belief of what I wish would happen. Listen to this, please. Faith is a belief of what I want, what I hope happens. Fear is the belief of the desire that I don't want to ever happen. Faith, yes. Fear, I don't want this desire. They're both a belief. Each one is a belief. What are you going to believe in? And the craziest thing is that I think that the number was 98% or something like that, that we are fearful of never happen. So we are focusing 98% of our time in things that are never going to happen because of fear. And many times we don't want to, and this is going to hit someone hard here, okay? Many times we don't speak to a prospect because we are fearful of that no. We are already entering to speak to the prospect with the mindset of them saying no. Imagine if you change that to the mindset of them saying yes. You know, they say no, nothing happens. Nothing happened. Because when you have faith, you start having confidence. You start with energy. You are looking at the outcome of the future. You are already saying, okay, I'm going to enroll this person. This person is going to be a star. This person is going to execute 1,000 people. I'm already starting with that energy. The person, the people who don't know about the sales world are behind that sale. But we have to be behind helping a person, not behind the sale. I'm going to help you financially, or am I going to help you medically, health-wise? Because now I am taking this into context. Okay, this person needs my patches. I can't go out from here until this person has these patches. And this comes with practice. That's why I'm telling you about how many hours you need to do it, how much you need to practice. Watch that video again. You have to practice it. You have to do it. It has to become something yours. Because many people out there don't even know that they even need the patch. No, I don't mean need money. I'm fine. Okay, perfect, Flor. Excellent. You don't need money, Flor. Perfect. I have a home here that we can purchase and invest in. Are you interested, Flor, in investing? Yeah, let's invest. No, no, Carlos, I don't have money now. Oh, but you said you were okay. I'm not going to say that, but you know. And Flor, would you like to have more money? And Flor doesn't know that she thinks in her mind that it's okay because she pays her bills. Because with my questions, I can open the context to Flor for her to say, oh, wow, I do need more money. And maybe the day of tomorrow, God forbid you lose your job, Flor. What would happen with your house? No, I never thought about that, Carlos. Why not, Flor? Now Flor is thinking, oh my God, it's true. I've never thought about this. And if I get there tomorrow and it's not there, what should I do? I thought that everything was okay. I need to help Flor. Flor, I'm sorry that I'm using you. It's because you're in front of me, okay? I'm not picking on you, you know. In the name of Jesus, I would never do that. But since you're here in front of me and you're who I know, so those are things that we have to have in mind. Hey, man, this person is suffering pain. Why don't you want the patches? No, because I don't believe in that. Why not? And that's when we start. And I don't know where that conversation is going to get to, but continue with the questions, continue with the questions, continue with the questions. So the person, they themselves can answer themselves and say, oh, no, I do need that patch. Or I do need to have another income in my life in case this happens. It's our job to be able to do that. And I'm going to finish with this. Two rules to close. Number one, no excuses. Either you earn money or you make up excuses. What do you want to do? And after that, and but you know why, excuse, no, but I was, no, but you know, but the whatever comes after a but is an excuse. And to look at ourselves and say, hey, if I didn't close this person, it's not that person's fault, it's my fault. Okay? And I'm telling you this, I've closed thousands, sorry, millions of dollars in sales, millions of dollars. And I have to say, okay, wait, what do I have to do that I did incorrectly here? How come I didn't ask this person for this question? I go back, I see my video, my calls. Somebody's trying to enter my Zoom account. So it's always my job. It's always what I'm doing. And number two, sorry, let me finish with this. If you are good at making up excuses, you're going to be amazing at not earning money. If you are good at making up excuses, you're going to be a star at not earning money. Because that is the only way, the only place that you're going to get to. All right, I have 10 minutes for questions. I know. Today's class was a bit tough, but raise your hands for me to be able to open up your mic. Yolanda, you can open your mic, Yolanda. Thank you. Hi, good evening, everyone. Hi, good evening. So it's the first time that I do this type of sales. My sales have always been face to face. And well, I have that kind of situations on closing. This week, I've faced this one, and last week, at the end of last week, I faced the fact that people say I'm interested, but I don't have money. I don't have money for business or for consumption. So since everything here is via chat, I don't know how to manage that objection remotely. Okay, let's do a test. So the person says, I don't have money. Okay, let's play around with this. Okay, Yolanda, and how does it make you feel not to have money? Bad. Why? Because I would like to purchase a patches, but I can't. And why can't you? Because everything I earn is destined to cover my basic expenses. And how does that make feel you? How does that make you feel? Sorry. Well, bad. Sorry, I didn't hear. How does that make you feel? Bad because I would like to be able to have enough cash to purchase the patches. And if you had more cash, how would that impact your life? In a positive way. In which way? Because I would have enough money flow to be able to cover, for example, the need that I have now of purchasing these patches for me to be able to use them and for my pain that I have to go away. So you need money to be able to take the pain away. I need money to purchase the patches. Yes. And what have you done to find that money? Well, nothing because I have a job that consumes every minute. And how are you going to be able to get the patches then? Well, precisely that is what I don't know. I don't know. I was invited. I'm going to answer what a person answered. Hey, Yolanda, I appreciate that you invited me, but I am interested. I'm in a lot of pain, but I can't purchase the patches right now. Okay, I need to leave because my wife needs to answer a we be the light call. But this person has to see that the problem is that she doesn't have money, okay? That is a problem. And when you told me I don't have money, I started to ask you, and how does that make you feel? And how does the pain? And I continue talking about the pain. That pain point is that you don't have money and you haven't done anything to receive more money. So you need to do this for you to have the opportunity of having more money because what you're doing is not giving you money enough to live the life that you want. Obviously, don't say it like I'm saying it right now. Don't be so raw. But the problem here is that this person is saying, I don't have money. That is the problem. That you don't have money. So you have to do something completely different for you to earn money because what you've been doing isn't working. So we have to do something completely different. And with the questions that I'm going to continue asking you, I want her to say, look, with each question, I'm going to expand that context, that mindset, that mindset, that mindset for her to say, oh my God, I do need this. Because just like this person said, if you needed, God willing, this never happens, God forbid. If your son gets kidnapped and they tell you that they need $50,000 in 4 hours, you'll get it. But if I tell you to search, get for $300 for a business that can generate thousands more, and that is going to solve your issue, and you don't want to get it, obviously, I'm giving you a very quick explanation, but we have to explain this totally different to how I'm saying it. Thank you. You're welcome. I hope you learned, guys. I need to get out because the links on my account were confused, and now my wife needs to use this account for her meeting. I hope you learned something. I promise you that I'm going to continue having these kinds of lessons. If you liked it, let me know. If you enjoyed the class, let me know in the Be Light chat. If you enjoyed this kind of meeting, and we'll continue doing these kinds of things to be able to continue helping you. God bless you guys. Bye. Thank you.